1 year ago, there was something oddly intriguing about this man with the flaming hair that intrigued you as you continued to follow close behind him up the old mountain trail. His flame-patterned Haori flowed gracefully behind him in the wind, with every moment he made as he continued to walk around aimlessly, as if looking for something. Meanwhile, you quietly followed behind him, timing your steps in sync with his own. Even up close, you couldn't help but admire how strangely beautiful he was. As you examined him from head to toe, taking note of his long, bright blonde hair and red stripes that reminded you of a flame's fire. Almost like a child, you were curious to know exactly how he even got to look like that. It could possibly be natural. Ironically, it really suited him. Out of all the men you've encountered, Rengoku was definitely the most attractive. You were so caught up in your thoughts that you almost failed to notice that he had stopped walking. Perhaps the Yokiana doesn't exist, you heard him mumble to himself. The Yokiana? Wait, he's been looking for me this whole time? You intently thought, as you stared at his back, wide-eyed. You'd heard him let out a soft sigh, sounding as though he was disappointed. What a shame. And here I thought I'd get to see a chance to see a pretty girl, he mumbled. Pretty? He thought you were pretty? Ironic, since he hadn't seen or even met you. Then it dawned on you. Crap, he must have heard those silly rumors from the villagers. No wonder he'd come all the way up here. To be fair, you thought he was headed towards the temple as you'd closed your eyes and breathed a sigh of relief, revealed that he wasn't seeking to take the trials. Once you glanced back at him, you nearly jumped out of your skin, seeing that he was looking straight at you. You hadn't been paying attention, and now you've been caught. As you both stared at each other wide-eyed, your mouth felt dry like cotton, and it felt like your kimono was on fire. Desperate, despite it being cold outside, the longer he stared at you. What is he going to do? You mentally thought that his lingering was staring to make you feel paranoid, if not uncomfortable. There was something glaring in his eyes that you couldn't quite make out, but nonetheless, you were beginning to get nervous. What if he thinks I'm some sort of demonic or malevolent spirit? How would those rumors depict me? And was going to slay me? You sweated. After several minutes of staring each other down, the flame-haired male demon slayer finally made a move. As he slowly taken a step towards you, a little frightened, you took a step back, not only sure of what he was going to do. Marry me. The words blurted out of his mouth so suddenly that it took you a while to register what he had just said. What? You blinked confused. Did he just say that? What I think he just said? Or is my mind playing tricks on me? You thought. There was a twinkle in his eyes as they widened in what only could be described as sheer bewilderment. You took note that he was now blushing. Marry me, he said it again, this time causing you to blush. Marry him? But we just met. No. You tell him, while frowning your eyebrows in disgust. I don't know you like that, you said, trying to step backwards. Okay, seriously, handsome or not, this guy is crazy. If he thinks I'm going to marry him like that, no way. Be mine, my beautiful Yokiana. He says it again, this time reaching for you as if wanting to embrace you. Yep, he's gone mad, you thought as you quickly turned away and ran, being careful not to trip on your geta. Stay away from me, you creep. Marry me, he exclaimed again. No, stay back, you yelped back, and nearly screamed to see him following after you. "Wait, Miss Okiana," he exclaimed. At this point, you had to find a way to shake him off your trail as he began to run away aimlessly, carefully glancing behind you to see how far you were from him. The taps of your geta trotted across the stone path, and they echoed in sync with your pounding heartbeat. Eventually, you made a beeline towards the pine forest as you mentally prayed that the white and dark pattern of your kimono would help you blend in with the snow and green background. To make sure you lost him off your trail, you quickly turned away corners before eventually ducking behind a tree. You slightly listened to him as you held your breath, not daring to give away your location. "Where are you, Miss Okiana?" Your heart nearly leapt into your throat when you heard his voice, though very distant, called out to you. Should you run? Maybe stay in one place? Or perhaps you could use your abilities to get lost of him? There was an odd tremor that coursed through your body as your mind raced to think. Granted, a part of you wanted to get away from him, but another wanted him to catch you. Almost felt sort of thrilling. There was just something about this strange flame-haired warrior that made you feel something you hadn't felt in months. Were you seriously falling for this guy, even though you just met? You didn't know, but it felt kind of exciting. You had the urge to call out to him, giving him clues as to where you were while your ears listened to him. It was quiet, too quiet, as the exhilaration pumped through your veins, and your body trembled with anticipation and excitement. It's been a while since you felt such an urge of energy, like a gazelle hiding from a lion. "Please come out, my beautiful flame," you heard him call out again. Shit, why did he sound so close? Like he was near. The way his voice echoed off the trees that surrounded you made it impossible to pinpoint his location. Oh, Kamiya-san, you were afraid to look back, in fear of seeing him right behind you, and knowing that with his prowess, he could outrun you any day without trying. Your heartbeat was too loud to hear anything else as you hesitantly waited for anything. "Found you!" A blood-curdling scream erupted from you, unable to process yourself anymore as the flame husher appeared right beside you, scaring the ever-living shit out of you. With his fiery, messy mane of hair, wide-shaped eyebrows, and big amber and red eyes that stared down at you, he looked scary, but in a very odd and attractive way. "I have you now, my lovely Yokiana." Rengoku smiles as he cages you between his body and the tree. You blush at those words, and without thinking, you mindlessly drape your arms over his shoulder, as if using him as support to keep yourself from falling back in shock. But did you fall? Oh, you certainly did. You'd fallen in love, and he was right. He did have you. Thus, flame and snow never looked so good together.